Usually I would just throw this off camera, but I adore this. Hello, welcome to Quint from Joel's. All right, welcome to my first attempt at a commentary video. We'll see how this goes, and if I like it, then maybe I'll make another one. We'll see. I'm making a commentary video on content to watch or consume. I'm making this to share my opinion on what I think is a good way to pass time. Although there is literally unlimited amount of content to watch, whether you're playing video games, whether you're whether you're watching movies, whether you're watching TV shows, whatever. I'm gonna share a couple great ideas on what I think is good content to check out, or some great games to play. For all you people who are very bored during this pandemic. Part 1, games. I'm gonna start with games. I mean, almost everybody plays video games these days, especially while they're stuck inside with nothing to do. And even though a lot of us play games, a lot of my friends have been saying, oh, I don't know, I'm just bored with games recently, or I don't know what it is, I haven't been interested in gaming, I don't know if I found the right game, or whatever. So whether you're burnt out, bored, or you just don't know what to play next, I'm just gonna name some games that I've played during this pandemic that I think is a pretty good way to get your mind off things, have fun, entertain yourself. That's just not playing Call of Duty or Dota 2 or League of Legends or Red Dead Redemption 2 or Destiny. So probably the biggest game I'm gonna list first, Doom Eternal. After playing Doom Eternal, I realized it's probably one of the most fun games I've played in a very long time. Extremely good graphics. You're just constantly running, you're constantly slaying demons, you're constantly upgrading your weapons. The more you play the game, the funner it gets throughout the whole thing. So I thought I would just jump right into Eternal. And little did I know, over 200 hours later, I'm still playing pretty often to this day. I was immediately invested in the game. No matter what skill level you are, the game has a way of just making you feel like the biggest badass ever. The violence and gore is just so intense in a very fun, cartoony way. I believe the game director compared it to Evil Dead.
All right, I like this, because this is the fucking truth. So you look at Saw, you look at torture porn, horror movies. They're cutting Achilles tendons with a fucking X-Acto knife, and the dude is screaming in pain, and he's a person. Versus on Evil Dead 2, when you lop off the head of that one grandma creature that comes up out of the basement, and like fucking buckets of blood start coming out of her head.
Right, it's cartoonish.
I still think the campaign is the top of the top, but if you're looking for a fun multiplayer experience, Doom Eternal introduced a unique multiplayer. You can play as all the different special demons, the skins are fun. It's different. Although I do recommend Doom for players looking for single-player experiences, the multiplayer is definitely worth it as well. It's a bonus. And the best part is, it's pure fun. Spyro, Reignited Trilogy. Ooh, November of 2018, this game came out. The original Spyro series came out a long time ago for the first few PlayStations, first couple. Spyro, I guess, is considered a platformer adventure. If you're looking for some casual couch play, something to play at night before bed, something to play when you just don't have anything to do, you only have a little bit of time to play, whatever. This game's for you. They can give you hours of entertainment, they're fun, they're silly, and I think nostalgia is a pretty big reason for me recommending this game. Spyro Reignited Trilogy graphics are just aesthetically pleasing eye candy ice cream with cherries not on top. Multiplayer games. Secret Neighbor. So Secret Neighbor is interesting. There's 6 players. One person's disguised as the neighbor, and it's the neighbor's job to disguise himself as one of the kids and betray them all.
It is time
I'm sick.
for another round of Secret Neighbor, where we have to find out who the neighbor is.
I think it's
What else?
you.
Bro, you just
And what do we do?
Donkey then. No, please.
Then
no.
what happens?
What the
It
fuck?
was you.
It's the job of the 5 other players to look for suspicious behavior or basically find out who the neighbor is. The 5 players who aren't the neighbor have to find all the keys in the house within 15 minutes to unlock the basement. If they do that successfully, they win. This game can get highly competitive and very intense very quickly. I think the website labels it as a social horror game. Sitting in Discord with all of your friends playing a game that gets pretty intense can be a lot of fun. It's a really unique gameplay experience. It's fun, it's silly. People of all ages can play it. It's just an all-around great multiplayer experience. I suggest you check it out. If you're looking for a fun multiplayer experience that doesn't require online play, or you just don't have many online friends, or I definitely recommend
Welcome
Cuphead. Cuphead's great because a lot of games that are fun aren't necessarily the most challenging games. That's not a good or a bad thing. But Cuphead is challenging in a way where it's just so satisfying when you finally beat that level or that boss that you've been working on for 30 minutes, an hour, a day. It's a hard game. You don't feel cheated when you die. It can get you really tilted. The game has a really good way of making you want to keep trying and practicing and getting good. Get good. It's great for 2 players, especially if you need help beating that level or that boss. It's great for couch play. You can play online too if that's your preferred method. This game is also aesthetically pleasing with the 30s cartoon style. The whole game is hand-drawn, which is phenomenal. Check those games out. Part 2, movies. Okay, movies. So I feel like I'm one of the few people that don't watch trailers for movies, new movies, whatever movie I'm interested in watching. A lot of people tend to get excited for trailers. It's like, have you seen a new trailer for fucking Trolls World Tour? No. Trailers spoil everything. Trailers are so poorly made these days. I don't watch trailers. These are just recommendations based off of what I've seen post-pandemic for no particular reason other than it might be an enjoyable film. Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer was directed by Bong Joon-ho, I think that's how you say it, who directed Parasite. Without giving any of the movie away, the basic plot is scientists tried to end global warming, and instead of ending global warming, they actually reversed it so much that the world froze over and made it uninhabitable. And all that's left of human civilization is one train with, I think, 1,001 cars or something like that, that just circles around the globe.
This is so disappointing.
C'est trop décevant.
Es una muy grande desilusión.
No, we don't need all that. I've only got 7 minutes.
Snowpiercer was a unique film in a way that was not what you would expect. It fucks with your mind for sure. Has interesting ways of changing the pace of the movie or what's happening in the movie. Basically, if you liked Parasite and the way of the weird style that it was, you would definitely like Snowpiercer. Excellent choice if you just want a fun movie experience. Jojo Rabbit. I love Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit is directed and stars Taika Waititi. The director himself plays Hitler through the eyes of this 10-year-old going through a Nazi school program towards the end of World War II. The director does a really good job of playing this Hitler character, making him goofy, silly.
That's not a Heil. This is a Heil. Heil. Heil Hitler. Heil Hitler. Heil Hitler. Ooh, that's it. You got it. Heil Hitler. Have a great day.
Just the way it all comes together at the end is really fulfilling, fun. I was laughing all the way through. Aesthetically pleasing. You should just check out Jojo Rabbit, and it's just going to be a really fun time watching a movie. The last movie I'm recommending is called Knives Out. I went to see Knives Out not knowing anything about the movie other than the fact that it was written and directed by Rian Johnson, who did the best Star Wars movie out of the new trilogy. I don't know if you heard me correctly. It's an unpopular opinion, but Rian Johnson made the best Star Wars movie in the new trilogy. The concept is just a really interesting take on the murder mystery genre. There's so many times in the movie where I was pleasantly thrown off in a non-cliche way. It just had a really good way of keeping you engaged. Again, I'm going to suggest not watching the trailer. And that's all I'll say on that. So that's it for movies. I didn't really watch too many other movies this pandemic. Part 3, shows. Is it like weird to call them television shows anymore? I guess you still watch shows on your television, doesn't matter. I'm gonna show you some shows to watch. Just as a heads up, I'm probably gonna start the shows category with a deep cut anime. Just bear with me. So here are the shows that I recommend for you. My Hero Academia. This is one of the most mainstream animes there are out there. If somebody asked me, do you watch anime? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, what anime do you watch? And I'm like, My Hero Academia. And then they'd probably be like, Nah, but My Hero Academia is a great show if you have a decent amount of time on your hands. The color style is really interesting. It's very aesthetically pleasing. I suggest it for people who aren't even fans of animes. It's just a good show. It's fun. The characters are silly. Not much else to say other than fun, superpowers, good guys, bad guys, engaging in fisticuffs, good old fisticuffs. My Hero Academia is the way to go. Legion.
Legion is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Legion is about David Haller, who is the son of Professor X in the X-Men universe. So it's about him, David Haller, as an orphan who goes crazy into a mental hospital, but then he realizes slowly over time that he is literally the most powerful being to ever exist by like a long shot, by like not even comparable to any other superpowers.
I am God.
Messes with your mind. It makes you think. It's so unique. It has a crazy art style. The directing is just not like anything I've seen before. I believe Noah Hawley said it was his excuse to literally do whatever he wants. I don't know how to recommend it enough other than telling you it is actually my favorite show ever made to this date. And that's all I'll say. Okay, now enough of the serious talk. This comedy show is one of my favorite comedy content that is put out in a very long time. I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson is just a pure gold comedy sketch show. I haven't laughed this hard at like comedy sketch content in a very long time. I think at moments it had me in tears from laughing so hard. It is on Netflix. I don't think it's anywhere else. It's really hard to find YouTube videos of the sketches. It is gut punching. Part 4, YouTube content.
Hey. Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
And I'm also suggesting content to watch on YouTube. But since there's a lot of content on YouTube, I'm gonna cover some recommendations quicker than others just because there's a lot to cover. So enjoy. Gus Johnson. I found out about Gus Johnson because of the H3H3 podcast. He has a comedy style that I tend to enjoy. He does a variety of content on YouTube, but mostly sketch comedy. I believe he said he is a huge fan of I Think You Should Leave on Netflix. Some of his sketches remind me of The Whitest Kid You Know as well. I think he's just a goofy, laid-back guy. So if you want to watch a 15, 18-minute video, he has good content regarding that. If you want to watch funny, silly sketches that are 15 seconds to a minute and a half to 2 minutes long, there you go, check him out. There's just multiple platforms, just in case like you want to take a break from YouTube, watch him on Twitch, streaming games in a different genre, or you could listen to his and Eddie's podcast.
And there's tons of Jaffs.
Chafes? Jaffs. Next is probably more of a personal one for me, as I am very into skateboarding. I've skated almost my entire life, on and off. I've been getting back into it recently, okay? A lot of me getting back into skateboarding is to do with the YouTube channel Braille Skateboarding. Braille Skateboarding is great for a lot of reasons. They have tons of variety in their content. They have a really interesting approach on teaching people how to skate while being engaging. They have positive vibes all around. They're all really cool dudes. They're always having a good time, goofing off, and they seem like they genuinely all care about skateboarding. They try to skate a battle axe. They try to skate a skateboard with grip tape made of nerds. They go to Bob Burnquist's house and they just film Bob Burnquist doing the most crazy stuff. They make wanting to learn how to skateboard more approachable, and I really like that. Braille Skateboarding. Kyle Hill. I've been a fan of him for years. I've watched Because Science for years. The way he covers scientific topics is engaging, interesting.
What was the first human-made object to break the sound barrier and cause a sonic boom? What would a black hole look like in a mirror? What I'm about to tell you is considered by some very serious thinkers to be an information hazard.
Almost like the way Braille Skateboarding makes you want to get into skateboarding, I feel like Kyle does a good job of making you want to pursue scientific interests or makes the pathway seem less frightening. They're really interesting, and it would be cool to show him support. Kyle Hill. Check it out. And I think that's all for the YouTube content that I want to talk about. Again, this is my first commentary video, so bear with me. Thank you so much if you're staying with me this far into the video. Please consider subscribing and sharing this video. More content soon.
Take care of each other.
More videos. I think it's that way. If it's not, I'm not going to fix it.